during her address, talking about the fact that she was an economist at the Bank of England again. No, you weren't. You were exposed. Exactly. She lied on her CV, didn't she, Howard?
Actually, the interesting thing is the common theme through this is we're being lied to in all directions.
But on a very big news day, breaking right now, the budget from hell just saw Rachel Thieves raise taxes by £40 billion, including raids on employers' national insurance, capital gains tax, and inheritance tax. And surprise, surprise, this is all going to be pointless anyway, with growth now set to slump below 2% for 4 years. The bigger point is this shower of idiots got elected on a total lie. Just imagine if the public had been told this is what Reeves would announce just 3 months after polling day.
The hole in our public finances this year, which recurs every year, the compensation schemes that they did not fund, and their failure to assess the scale of the challenges facing our public services means that this budget raises taxes by £40 billion. Any Chancellor standing here today would have to face this reality.
40 billion. Now look, finally, something happened to Fishy Rishi Sunak. It was his last day as leader of the opposition in the House. And he actually showed some life. I mean, too little, too late. You were an absolute failure as Prime Minister, but I give him credit for this today.
And a spree of tax rises they promised the working people of this country they would not do. National insurance, up. Capital gains tax, up. Inheritance tax, up. Energy taxes, up. Business rates, up. First-time buyer stamp duty, up. Pensions tax, up. They have fiddled the figures. They don't like it, Mr. Speaker. They don't like it, Madam Deputy Speaker.
And even Sly News wasn't having it when Rachel Thieves sent out her minions.
You say that you weren't elected on a false premise, but at the same time, multiple times throughout the election campaign, you were promising no additional tax rises. On the 28th of May, Rachel Reeves, there are no additional tax rises needed beyond the ones that I've said. Keir Starmer to Beth Rigby and Grimsby, there's going to be no need to raise tax on the plans we're setting out. No tax surprises. Well, today was a big tax surprise, wasn't it?
Well, look, firstly, our key promise was about protecting working people, and as a result of the measures announced by the Chancellor, taxes on working people's pay slips will not go up. There's no increase in the national insurance or the income tax that working people pay on their pay slips.
It's a different
promise.
promise.
That is a promise made and a promise kept.
That's a different promise. At no point during the election campaign were you saying there'd be no increases to taxes on pay slips. That's a new form of words that you've introduced since the election.
Father Calvin Robinson, despicable lies. And it's going to destroy the British economy, isn't it?
It's interesting to see Sly News actually holding them to account there. That's a first. That's fantastic to see. But you're right, they're so slippery. There's this twisting of the language. Well, pay your slips, won't you? No, you said you won't increase taxes and you're increasing taxes. But actually, this is the Labour Party. This is what they do. This is a Labour policy. They've always increased taxes. Every Labour council across the country increases taxes at every opportunity. Every Labour government has increased taxes. The only people that decrease or try to keep taxes as they are is the Conservative Party. As much as I dislike the modern Conservative Party, one thing they have remained good at is the lack of taxation, because they're mostly neoliberals, so they focus on the economics rather than the cultural stuff and the immigration stuff, which I wish they would focus on. But the Conservatives have been strong on this consistently, and of course, many people dislike them for that. But if people are surprised that Labour have raised taxes, then people don't know what they were voting for.
Indeed. And the big issue for me, Father Calvin, is that the figures just don't add up. And this is what the lefties, this is what the commies never actually realise. It's about punishing the rich, but actually all you do is you punish yourselves. And by the way, I say punish the rich, but they're not punishing the rich. They're punishing small business owners. They're punishing people who are pub landlords. They're punishing black cab drivers. I mean, they're punishing anyone who isn't employed effectively by the state. But when you actually look at the technicalities of it, Calvin, tax revenue will increase by a little over £35 billion in a full year. But wait for it, according to the Growth Commission, this will be offset by the requirement to borrow in excess of £50 billion a year.
It's just insane. I don't know why they think that they can still do this. The maths never adds up. We saw this when we had the last Labour government. They left a little note for the Chancellor saying, sorry, there is no money left. And this is because they seem to think we'll take the money from the rich people and then we'll have more money to spend. That's not how it works. If you tax the rich, it doesn't matter who you tax, but if you tax the rich, that is going to get passed on to because these are the business owners. So the business owners pass the spending on to the people spending money in their businesses. So it ends up, it's the working classes and the middle classes who fill that gap. And of course, the people who can really afford it leave the country. So this is why we had over 1,400 millionaires leave the UK in the last year, expecting exactly this to happen. They knew what was coming, so they got out. So they don't have to pay all this extra money. So where's it going to come from? Again, the middle classes and the working classes. People should be able to keep more of the money they earn. Hardworking people deserve their money. The government deserves none of it.
But Howard Cox, congratulations to you, because the only good news coming out of today's budget, and I'm not exaggerating here, is all down to you and your incredible Fair Fuel campaign, which has been fighting on behalf of motorists now for years. And thank God the government listened and there will be no increase in fuel duty. So in a very, very grim budget, for you, something to celebrate today. But first, we've partnered with Gundry MD to share this information with you. Would you believe me if I told you inside your pantry right now is one of the healthiest foods on the planet? Yes, it's true. And it's not some weird, trendy superfood. Spoiler alert, it's olive oil. You've probably used to cooking with it, but there are countless ways to use olive oil to help yourself look and feel younger. For example, olive oil is a natural way to help you achieve a more youthful appearance. Besides helping you look younger on the outside, it's a fantastic tool for your insides as well. According to Dr. Stephen Gundry, a famous cardiothoracic surgeon, nutrition expert, and health advocate, you should get as much high-quality olive oil into your daily routine as possible, whether it's taking a shot of it daily or keeping a bottle of it in your bathroom medicine cabinet. But what kind of olive oil is best for your health? Well, any olive oil can give you some benefits, but if you're looking to get the best results, it matters a lot which one you pick. The olive oil industry is huge, you see. You can tell by the number of olive oil brands you can see at the grocery store, and you can bet they're not all made with the consumer in mind. And many brands may even cut corners one way or another to increase profits. When Dr. Gundry came to that realization, he was appalled. But some olive oils are so powerful, it may only take a few tablespoons a week to see these incredible health benefits. So how can you tell between an olive oil that can be a health booster and which one isn't up to par? Well, in an effort to answer that question, Dr. Gundry has decided to take a stand and release his personal research and findings. This video has gone viral since its release, and it's important you see it so you can start benefiting immediately. So you can watch the video right now by going to getolive1.com/outspoken, or you can just click on the link in the description box below. So that's getolive1.com/outspoken, or you can just click in the description box below on the link. People who have taken his advice have shared their results with him, saying the olive oil they bought after learning his simple rules have helped change their lives. So make sure you go to getolive1.com/outspoken or click on the link in the description box below this video. But now, back to the show.
Yes, I'm delighted, even though that's tempered by the rest of the budget. You're absolutely right. But one of the things that I got across to Rachel Reeves, Jonathan Reynolds, the business secretary, the Minister of Energy, David Millipede, and of course, Louise Hay, the Chancellor, they got about 30 or 40,000 emails from people right across the country saying, don't put this, it's going to cripple them. And they all said, we're working people. So if you tax us anymore, you're increasing taxes on working people. And that's, I think, was the acid test in actually Rachel saying, I can't put this up because we're going to be crucified in the media and by the rest of it. But the thing is, the rest of the budget is anti-business. I mean, she's going to borrow £35 billion borrow £50 billion and raise £35 billion in tax. So there's 15 billion added to the black hole. I mean, I work very closely.
The black hole, which didn't actually exist, by the way.
No, cool, exactly. I work very closely with the Centre of Economic and Business Research, a guy called Douglas McWilliams, who's chair, and he basically runs the Growth Commission, which is Liz Truss's little baby. And to cut a long story short, I just read his response to it, and I welcome you doing the same. Fundamentally, GDP is going to crash. There's no growth. Their mantra that they're working for growth is rubbish. It's nothing whatsoever. It's not going to happen.
No, exactly. And Rachel Reeves, by the way, during her address, talking about the fact that she was an economist at the Bank of England again. No, you weren't. You were exposed. Exactly. She lied on her CV, didn't she, Howard?
Actually, the interesting thing is the common theme through this is we're being lied to in all directions, whether it's the police, the government, economically, etc. And I'm sick to death of the fact that the Tories made a monumental error allowing Labour to get in. As you know, I'm a member of Reform UK. I was asked by Nigel and Richard Tice to join because of Fairfield UK and what I've been doing in public affairs campaigning. But I stood for London Mayor and I stood down in Dover. And I came second, knocked the Tory into third. And had I had another month, I think I could have nicked it. The problem we have here is we are surrounded by lies. And my inbox is flooded with people worried sick about the next 4 or 5 years. And I really hope we can get rid of this government because we do need we've got a by-election coming up because of that guy who was punching the lights out of whoever he was in the street. So we might be doing that. And this is what's happening. They're punching the lights out of all of us.
They absolutely are. Thank you so much for watching Dan Wootton Outspoken. Please click on my face just to the bottom left to subscribe to this brand new independent news source and turn on the notification bell so you'll be alerted to our brand new live shows, uncancelled interviews and special royal episodes. Outspoken is also now available as a podcast, so you can listen to the show every weekday on the go wherever you are.